literally just before the hour the clock rolled over. Excellent. The Discipino Chennorth Airguns CameraTim.com is here. Horovac's here. He's grumpy already. Let me get another glass of wine. That'll be why he's grumpy. He has the rage. Mr. Eggcake's here. Delta Mike's here. Hey up, lads and lassies. CameraTim.com, Mr. Eggcake. I think DCL. I've said this. Brian Cox. Greetings. And everything has started. Unlike on YouTube, I've been doing the Patreon streams again every second Thursday. And we've been doing it on YouTube. Maybe I shouldn't talk about bins in YouTube and things like that. I've been talking about terrible subjects. But you'll be glad to know that here on Twitch, everything's the right way around. Not on YouTube. At YouTube, I can't work out how to get the image the right way around. If I use the selfie camera on YouTube, everything comes out back to front. BigClive.com is back to front. You'd think the world's biggest video platform would solve that. Twitch has definitely got the edge in many ways over YouTube. This is so strange. But anyway, that's fine. Good morning back to sunny Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Fredo Frog. Is that not the capital of Australia? Because they couldn't decide between the two big cities of Australia who was going to be the capital of Australia, so they just made a city in the middle or something like that. That's fine. What colour will I be tonight? You'll be glad to know, the happy little fox, aka Benji, that you're orange tonight. Do I have anything orange here? I do have an orangey thing here tonight. I'll give you a sneak preview of the orangey thing. There we go. It's the orangey thing. It's got a wire coming from it, a very thin wire. This is very interesting, very pleasing. Okay, the Lego Corporation won't be pleased, but then since they stole the concept of the Lego bricks from someone else, I don't care. Accidentally refreshed, have to watch another 30-second advert. Oh, really? Mouse, that's not so great. Do you know what I noticed? When I was in Glasgow, in Gotham City, the adverts were arduous, particularly late at night. I'd be lying in bed, just doom scrolling as one does until I fall asleep. And the adverts were like 2 20-second unskippable adverts for laundry detergent and beauty products. They were awful. Back to Isle of Man, it says, oh, he's in the Isle of Man now, don't give him big adverts. It's Isle of Man seems to have less adverts than the UK. What is the import of orange? The importance, Tony Weaver. Happy Little Fox has a fondness for the colour orange. Oh, hold on. Yigamunion and ultraviolet sterilisation. I was trying to get a bottle of Cinsano. While I'm sterilising, you can try and work out who I'm going to celebrate by mentioning Cinsano. You're not going to get it. And nobody is going to get why Cinsano was significant. It's a drink. A fortified alcoholic beverage. Scanning with ultraviolet radiation for your sterilisation. I hope Megavolt Meister's okay. He's got another dose of COVID. That's not great. It's still doing the rounds. It's not over yet. It's just the media's just lost interest. So I'll scan myself with this fake germicidal light to all pretend that that it's not happening. Bruce Forsyth? What? Joan Collins? No, although Joan Collins and Leonard Roster did come to mind, because the famous adverts are Leonard Roster with Joan Collins, and he says, oh, I wonder what the time is, and he's got his glass of Cinsano. He goes like that to look at the watch and pours it all down her tits. All the videos were basically him pouring Cinsano all over her tits. That's literally the video series. Quite funny. Take a look at them. It's all done the best possible taste, obviously. Viruses don't get bored. They don't. You could make running a VNC server in IOM. Don't even know what that is, CG will work. But the Isle of Man is stuffed with computers and servers. Oh, Happy Little Fox, my favourite colour is green. Well, that's a bit controversial. The Queen enjoyed a glass or two. No, she liked Dubonnier. Dubonnier and gin was the Queen's thing, and even did the King's thing as well. So I'm scrolling up and seeing if MD gets it. No, you didn't. Oh, no. No, you didn't get it. Hold on. Jorg the Earthling, thank you for gifting a sub to Mouse. Very generous of you. So let me give you a clue. Good time popping bottles. Cinsano is a vermouth. I believe it is. Leonard Roster used to refer to Joan Collins as the prop. I hope he did not. I hope it wasn't meant in a mean way. Roster was in 2001. Anyway, I'll show you something. I'll just show you this. Oop. Red neons. Red neons. Who, with Chinsano connection of red neon, who's the Jägermunion going to be to? Is Joan Collins still alive? I think she might be. Let me just check. Joan Collins comes up as the first hit here. 92 years. She's still alive. Good going. Joan Collins is dead. I don't think she is. Who remembers Baby Sham? I remember the adverts for the bear bar, and someone goes, I'll have a baby sham. They're all being really butch. How accurate was that? Leonard Ross is a bit of a cunt, apparently. Many actors are, but then again, people like, say for instance, I was going to say Michael Bentine's Potty Time, that's not. George Michael's Cartoon Cavalcade. All it takes is one person going, I met him and he was really nasty to me, because they just pushed themselves on him. And then they'll spread the shit around, and everybody's only interested in the shit about actors. You have to watch where you tread there. But anyway, this is not about actors. This is about someone who did real stuff. This is a toast to Georges Claude. Did I even get that right? Georges Claude, I think it was. Claude Neon. The first neon signs ever. The pioneer of neon lighting. And bizarrely now, I'm not saying I'm old, but one of my co-workers in a job, guy came up from England with, because we were needing a high access unit with a good, decent, a truck-mounted access unit. And the company didn't have any locally, so they got it sent up from England. And while I was chatting, Glenn Michael, not George Michael, that's right, it was Glenn Michael, that's right. George Michael's Cartoon Cavalcade involved toilets. The RAM, yeah, I've heard RAM is going up in price. It's okay, it'll come back down again. We've had that before in the early days. But this guy I was working with, quite an old guy, and we're just chatting away. The subject turned to neon, and he said, yeah, I used to work for George's Neon, or Claude Neon, should I say. And it was like, what? I thought that was like an ancient, obsolete. No, I think the company may still exist in a form. But he had worked for Claude Neon in installing some of the earliest neon signs. Pretty incredible. It's not that long a history, really. Had to eat my way into it. Fucking Italian sizes. Is this clothing? There is a museum in Bakersfield, California that has a neon sign section, and there is an entire dedicated neon museum in Las Vegas where the sign museum, where they don't just, whenever a casino is getting demolished, they'll retrieve some of the items from it, part of the signage, and it will get preserved. And as part of their display, because it can't all easily be powered up because it's just expensive to maintain, they do pixel mapping on it, and they'll actually project the image of this, not real neon, but actually projected images at night onto the signage so you can see it animating. Crucial is quitting the consumer business. That won't help prices. No, it won't. Are they just concentrating on industrial memory? That which wouldn't really surprise me. My kettle's a little neon style bulb, but blue. Not LED, actually blue. Can't find about them anywhere. Green neons. And green neons. And blue neons. And these came from a seller called, I think it was an eBay seller, Gadget Kingdom. Not a sponsor. Gadgets Kingdom even. I don't even know if it's one of these transient sellers. Their name's probably changed. You know how they just change names every so often. But you can buy bulk blue and green neons, and they just, you have to run them at lower current because they don't last as long as the traditional red ones. I'm not sure what the gas is in them. I don't know if it's mercury vapor or there's another gas. Maybe even just argon, but whatever it is, it emits enough ultraviolet to stimulate the phosphor inside. There's a company sign museum in Vienna. They come around and dismantle old signage, neon illuminated ones, painted letters, etc. Horvath. It is a labour of love. There was a YouTube channel, a guy doing the vintage retro signage, and then he was like struggling because he was like having to move with work, and he had a big huge warehouse full of the signs. Goodness knows what happened, but that kind of stopped things. Hello, one of those neon flame bulb blasts. One that's still going after 10 years non-stop. Well, happy little fox. The traditional old ones, particularly if you're in 120 volt, will last a very, very long time. But the new ones with the shiny stainless steel type plates won't last as long before they just stop flickering. And in the UK, they can fail after a few years because the resistor inside is dissipating much more power, and it will potentially fail sooner. 240% is the average increase. That's more than just cyclical price fluctuations, unfortunately. But those of us who are old enough, those of us who are 60 or beyond, will remember that in the early days of the 386 and 486 DX, SX processors and the early DOS computers, RAM was the single most expensive thing. 4 megabytes of RAM cost as much as the entire rest of the whole system, including the motherboard. So RAM is very cyclic. It's protection rackety, maybe. The flicker will eventually be flucked. It will, Chris Hartley. Just put a 400 string, says Looney12, of LED lights and a Christmas tree, and the feckers have started blinking. It's happening when the PSI gets hot. PSU gets hot, but okay when cooled. It's a multifunction controller, 240 volt and 32 volt out. Any ideas what will be a chip fault, or may it be repairable? Have you used the correct power supply? Because some of them may, you get different power ratings of power supply, and if you draw too much current, it may possibly overheat the smaller power supply. Tricky though, not so easy to open those power supplies. I do not believe your age, you are 40. That's right, Neil Clippings. There is this saying that Gen X are 60-year-olds who look like 40-year-olds and act like 20-year-olds. I'm over 60 but don't remember a thing. Oh, Liz, didn't you have computers? Didn't you have a big computer? I did see Technology Connect, didn't watch the whole thing about his Christmas lights, his annual rant. Has he not come across, hold on, where are they? Is it in here? Has he not come across these? These are probably, which came first, the Chinese ones or the retro bright, whatever they call them, retro colour, and it's the old retro light bulbs but with the filaments inside them. They're very nice. Notable that the glass ones are better because they're hermetically sealed, particularly the ones that have the resistor. I've featured them in so many videos, that have the resistor built into the filament itself. At rectifier and resistor, there's a little fly buzzing around the light. What fly is that? Looks like a little fruit fly. Oh, I brought bananas in. Maybe that's it. But the ones that the plastic globes and the resistor in the base, they can just start condensing water inside because of thermal cycling and the expansion contraction pulling moisture in. It's worth knowing. Clear olive colour. See, these are the plastic ones. These are the plastic globes. Yeah, plastic. That have the little bung in the bottom, the filament. And these ones might have a resistor stuffed up the base just to match it to whatever supply voltage it is for that country. The resistor always does too much duty in the UK versus the 110 volt countries. But having said that, because there's no smoothing on 240 volts or European 220, 230, the LED is lit for more of the sine wave. I had a green illuminated wall plate that when the wall switch was off, the rim, the outside of it just glowed gently with just passing a slight current through the lamp. Not so great with LED lamps, but the green just failed very quickly. Wheezy peasy, I still have my parents' old string lights like that and some extra bulbs in a pack. If they're the vintage UK ones, just preserve them as long as possible because they're so collectible, so rare, such a great look. These big old olive bulbs, when I was young, back in the 1960s, the tree had 12, was it 12 or 20? I think it was 12 20-volt lamps. The olive bulbs in little reflectors, and it had a string of 20 Pifco Lilliput lamps. That was all that was in a big, huge tree, but they were just well spread out over it. And it was magical. You look at trees these days, and it's like strings of 5,000 LEDs for one tree, and it just becomes a mess of light. It's not got the character that it used to have. Or am I just sounding like an old man? Don't compare to those old painted glass incandescent death trap lights though. Much. These ones run cooler. Also, you can with these ones, you can add a little bit of external circuitry and make them completely flicker free, like less flicker even than tungsten. I have a vintage set I do not use, Steve or PCB. Well, you have a choice. You can either keep it or you can sell it on eBay, but set a high price. I've bought expensive strings of lights off eBay. I bought a set of juggler lights, and they were so rare and special, bubble tubes, British ones, that with the little, the sort of like shooting star type with the little, it's water, methylene chloride, coloured methylene chloride at the bottom, and then water above it. And I just set a high bid because I thought, I want those, but I know people are going to be placing high bids, and they cost a lot. But valuable, because I can show the complete construction in a video, and then everybody can enjoy them. It preserves them online. I've not done that yet though. I made a short video about them, but not the full one. There will be carbonated beverage, but not carbonated wine. I did drink carbonated wine earlier in the week though. Kebab face, just putting the Christmas tree in the loft still decorated is fine. Mine is in the loft still decorated. I'm not even bringing it down. There's nowhere to put it. There's no space. What's the point? But an on-powered exit sign to use as glow-in-the-dark in my bedroom door. Ah, now try TV. Is that the one with a tritium tube in it, I wonder? Wilworth said a live BC socket test light bulbs too. See, here's the thing, Tony Weavers. I mean, I'll bring it through and show it. In some recent videos, I've been using this little lamp tester, and this above, I can remember in supermarkets, there was a board in the wall with the holders, and I think there's one above some checkouts, and when you went through the checkout, the lady at the checkout would take the bulb out the bag and stick it in, make it light up, and then put it back in the box just to check before you left, just in case people were saying, well, that wasn't working when I bought it. But this one does GU10, it does the GU9, is that right? Large Edison screw, small Edison screw, bayonet cap, and it also lets you put an MR16 12-volt bulb in there because for some reason they used the buy pin for 240 volt as well in China, which is odd. Oh, and speaker connectors, obviously, because that's what you need. And a little window up here with a sticker over it that looks as though it may have been designed for a voltage display. I didn't get the luxury one. Don't put your dick in there. I don't think it would fit, but I kick my hat. The water tank in the loft looks like Santa. Oh, we don't want water tanks in there. The one advantage of water tanks in the loft is that they hold a reserve of water. The disadvantage is that they burst and leak. I'll put this out the way. It's a nice little box. People say, oh, where can I get one? And I'm like, should I really give people links to stuff like this? Because, you know, I know an ordinary lamp cord, you can stick your finger in it, right? But speaker connector, I don't know. Don't know how that goes these days. Lots of warnings. Do at your own risk. Birds die and shit in them. In what? And rats can... Oh, yes. Yeah. The water tanks. You have to keep them covered. Woolworths have the live bulb tester. In those days, the packaging was open-ended, so no need to unpack a bulb. That is true. Just stick one in and walk away and let the cardboard combust. Flashy tree putter. Hot water isn't potable in the UK. Yeah, mine is. Because I don't have a water reserve tank. It used to come through the boiler, but now it comes through... One of the first things I put in this place was a under-sink water heater, so that in the morning when I roll out of bed and come through to the kitchen, wash my face at the kitchen sink, because I do that. I don't use the bathroom sink. The one sink does. It's not just the face washing and dishwashing sink, but it's also the chemical lab and printed circuit board processing sink. It's manky, but it's stained with ferric chloride. It's never going to look nice, but that's fine. I'm a bachelor. That's what my sink's like. But it means that because it's got the under sink water heater, you turn the tap, count to 3, there's hot water. It's preheated. It's a reservoir of hot water underneath the sink, just waiting to go. Kitchen sink also accepts urine. No, that's hotel sinks. Let's differentiate between hotel sinks and kitchen sinks. You're not supposed to piss in your kitchen sink. Definitely not while flatmates are in the room. A friend's Christmas tree has nearly every Hallmark Star Trek ornament on it. That's going to be expensive. See, Zingman, small word moment, just got a new co-worker who was a snare drummer in the Port Dover Parish Pipe Band who played at the Edinburgh Tattoo this year. Aha, that would be one of many, many drummers. We have a lot of performers at the Tattoo. It's ludicrous. It's a ludicrous thing. How the fuck did I end up working that job? It's just bizarre. Don't be a sink pisser, Frank Nedder Buddy. Have you never stayed in cheap accommodation? Don't poop in the sink though, because it's really hard to poke down. Sometimes you just have to leave it for the roommate. I'm only kidding. I managed to pretty much block the toilet today. I just did. Maybe it's just because I've been eating different. Maybe it's because I came off the keto diet a while back there, and I'll be going back on it. But I did a toilet blocker today. It was that one that you flush it and the water level goes up alarmingly before it goes down. I just gave it a sec flush just to make sure it was well away. Straight braincock, strange women lying in cold water tanks distributing swords is hardly a basis for government. What? Anyway, let's go and get the ethanol, and then, oh, which gadget will I show you next? Could it be this gadget? This is so obnoxious, but so religious and Muslimy. It's very, very intriguing. Let me give you a close-up so you can see. It says, Zikr and Ragya. I do not know anything about the Muslim religion, but this is a Muslim device, I believe. I think. Lots of chanting. This is why I can't have the windows open while you're live. Don't want random people in the street hearing. This is it. Yes. Better, quieter. Need a plunger to help push the log down. Megavolt Meister, a garden cane for... Yes. Why is the ground pin plastic? It's only to open the shutters. It doesn't need to be... It's not actually active, it's just live and neutral effectively. But this pin is needed, and it's better to implement it just as plastic in this instance. Cheaper, simpler. Make a video. No, I'm not going to do anything blasphemous, China North air guns. I'll take it apart though. I should know about that stuff, but I have no effing idea what Zerk and the Rugya is. Zikr, Rugya. I don't know either, but it's multi. I don't know if it's 4 different religions in one unit. I mean, that's very, very compact. Anyway, I'm going to get the pink unicorn of intoxication through. What do I want? Dark rum, white rum, spiced rum, whiskey, or something a bit stronger, Dennis? What are you going to mix it in? Don't drink it neat. Ugh. Right, hold on. I'm going to get my beverage, which is vodka, pre-mixed with my DIY energy drink. I discovered something about caffeine recently that I didn't know. Here's the pink unicorn with a mango, orange and mango themed contents. Here's the caffeine. It says 4623. Does caffeine expire? I wouldn't think. I think caffeine's a pure chemical, so it's not going to degrade too much. You can buy this online from eBay, and keep in mind that caffeine is very toxic in quite small portions. They do specifically say in the listings that are currently up that you should measure it out on very accurate scales and not just judge it by sticking a teaspoon in, because a teaspoon would be toxic levels of caffeine. Half a teaspoon would be toxic levels of caffeine. So I wanted to make my own energy drink by caffeinating fizzy juice carbonated and ethanol. So Clive, please, and your Burco boiler. Oh yes, your PCB, don't even want to talk about that. Snort some off a hooker's bum. I don't know if you can snort caffeine. I have no intention of doing that. That doesn't sound good. But anyway, that poor guy that did like 20 times lethal dose because he misread the recipe. Did he survive or die? There are coffee Captain tabs, 100 milligrams of caffeine. So a cup of espresso in tablet form, just, 100 milligrams isn't much. You want to take a look at the statistics of how much caffeine is in the UK in Costa coffee. Costa coffee has more caffeine in one large latte than a 1 litre bottle of energy drink, which is approximately, the energy drink is about 0.3 grams, 300 milligrams for a litre. Anyway, on the subject, he died. Okay, that's not a surprise. Caffeine makes you twitch too much. Caffeine stops the twitch. Yes. But anyway, I calculated it, the 300 milligrams per litre, and I made a concentrated liquid. I put 100 millilitres of, it turns out you have to have hot water. It doesn't really dissolve very well in cold water. And I put in 3.75 grams in 100 millilitres so that I could use 1 communion glass of it, that, into a 1 litre bottle of water and then carbonate it, and that would be the full strength Red Bull type caffeine thing. And I put it in the fridge to keep it fresh. Not that that's really needed, because caffeine doesn't really promote mold or bacteria or anything growth. But I took it out of the fridge today to make my energy drink, and it was solid. It had all chilled and coagulated out. Odd. Buckfast contains approximately 280. See, that's that limit, roughly. They're just playing safe, 300 milligrams per big, huge bottle. There must be a limit in the UK. But the amount of caffeine varies according to where you are. But to give you a perspective on the amount of caffeine then, pure caffeine powder they add to Buckfast, based on this little thing, see a little line at the bottom there? This is why you have to use drug scales to measure it. It wouldn't even be up to that line is the quantity that they'll have in Buckfast. So now you know you can turn any cheap sherry or port into super energy hyper power drink. Wreck the hoosh juice. Wheezy peasy, I just like coffee, reasonable enough. Liz is after her hit here with fire. Good news, Liz. Since it's winter, we're using the Mega Woofler. Fire extinguisher ready? Yes, just checking. Takes the same amount of woofle juice. High voltage electronic igniter circuitry. Do you even hear that? It's pretty high pitched and hissy. I don't even know if it will pick up. Buckfast port, they should get into the shops at Christmas. It would be popular, Rodders. Power port. I drive around nuts talking enough don't need a lot of caffeine. Indeed. Let's have fire. Spiders on holiday check. Spiders. No, I did see a big spider on the wall recently. Big black one. But no obvious spiders. Nope. This microphone is a bigger, heavier one than the one I use for the YouTube app because the apps treat the microphones differently. Very odd. Anyway, let's see if that one swings when I woofle. The big woofler in winter has an issue. Ready? Woofling. Oh wow. Yeah, all over the ceiling, great. Statue of Liberty. Oh no, too late. It has an issue. The amount of butane that comes out chills the container, and it's already quite cool here. I say quite cool here. I'm boiling. I'm really hot. Which means it must be above 8 degrees Celsius. But you'll see it happens in bursts, because every so often you blip, it has a sort of like a... What would you call that, really? It just suddenly pressurizes. The liquid suddenly bubbles, and it gives you another burst of gas. Nucleation in a way, I suppose. Whiffling. Oh, that's quite a good one. Statue of Liberty. Oh, it's lasting quite a while. This isn't a woofler size challenge, Scruff Dog. Don't upgrade your woofler size just because I don't want you to burn your house down. That'd be terrible. A woofler across the bubble machine would be interesting indeed. Stick the beauty in your pocket. I could Megavolt Meister. I could put it in my cargo pocket and keep it warm. But having said that, if I pull it off the unit here, all the liquid will dribble out the unit. But it's fine. Matt easily did a video about Saw Stop, which has been around for a while. Saw that as a mechanism which stops and retracts the blade of human skin touches the blade, often demonstrated Horvath with a hot dog. That has been around a very, very long time, but it's probably evolved. It literally fires an aluminium brake into the blade, wrecks the blade in the process, I think, but it's better than having your finger chopped off. But the false trigger, they detect the conductivity of the item, and wet wood, or just even very humid wood, can actually cause false triggering. Kusama, lighter gas here in Finland is a mix of propane and butane. Ah, interesting. That's an idea. I could use that because we do have that mixture of gas here. I want a giant outdoor woofler and a full-size propane tank. Well, you can. Very easy step to CKY. You could just plumb it straight into a big tank of water with wash-up liquid. Well, it was new to me, Horvath. Indeed. Yeah, if you look up the history, they've been around a long time. Remember when they first came out? Quite interesting. Expensive to replace the blade and the brake, because the whole lot has to be changed once it's done its job. But that's going to save your fingers, which is good. Acetylene woofler, well, oxyhydrogen woofler for absolutely mega bang. The inverter shopped it around to all the major toolmakers like Black & Decker, DeWalt, etc. All refused to license it or even acknowledge they met with the guy and were aware of its existence because it would open them up to major consumer lawsuits. Ah. I watched a video the other day where they triggered the saw stop inadvertently. The guy got a tiny nick in his finger. That's literally what happens. As soon as the spinning saw blade touches your finger and detects a path to ground, that the brake just goes bang and the blade retracts down into the unit. Scary, but better than losing a finger. Tell us about the police in your T-urn, Steve or PCB. Well, one Christmas, we'd done the installation of the Christmas lights in George Square in Glasgow, and our cabin, our portacam, was used for part of the control system as well. And the police said, can we use it as an office? While we're, they had what was it? They were looking after I think we were just using it as a journal office in the George Square, but also it was for the memorial, all the wreaths and stuff like that, the war memorial thing, to make sure it didn't get vandalised by drunks. And we came back, and they'd not only raked through our stuff, it was all in different places, but the T-urn, because they had no toilet, they'd been urinating in the T-urn, and literally it was right up to the brim, and they put the lid on it. So it was actually full of rancid piss up to the brim. We disposed of it. I mean, technically speaking, you could have washed it out and boiled it, but that was the last time we ever let the police do that. Disgusting. And I got a tray of dim sum. See, dim sum's nice, yes. Dumplings. Blow more bunnies. No. No more bunnies to get blown up. Fake bunnies. They couldn't pour it out. There was a tap. They could have disposed it. They could have poured it into a container to the point it was level, and then they could have gone outside and tipped it down a drain. But they didn't. They just left it. That's the police. Is a Big Clive ST on your website? Sparks, that used to be somewhere, but it may have been in one of the old... the descriptions of one of the old live streams that I've made all private now. But it was a scalable, you could type in the dimensions and it would create you a custom wiffler STL. Charming, scummy thing to do. Yep. They could have used the train station, not sure it's open all night, but that would also have meant paying to go to the toilet, and also they'd have had to get cold going out of our nice hot place because the heater up full too. Greetings, Bloodbag. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, Scruff Dog has a 100ml woofler on Thingiverse. There you go. Scruff Dog, I don't know, can you put a link to that? I'm not sure if you can put links. I think you can. Yes, you can. Obviously, you make a woofler at your own risk, etc. And also be aware, if you use it outside thinking you're going to be safer, it can blow the flames in your face and singe your facial hair or whatever. He can. He's a mod and I'm not. There's a reason you're not a mod, Horovac. There's a reason. Anger, rage, that's why you're not a mod. Cyberlight says you're on the big screen now. Cyberlight. Worked with him in the past. Steve Unwin of Pulsar, was it? Who designed the circuitry for the Cyberlights. My facial hair. Yes, your facial hair. Talking of facial hair, let's plug in this thing. So this is a... I'm going to have it outside. That's as far as the cable's going to come up. So it's got a button here. So you can choose lights. And it's quite nice. Watch this. I'll turn the light off, right? So here's your illuminated thing. And you press off. And it gives you a little greeting and then turns off. That's nice, isn't it? But I think that's enough. It's got lots of stuff like that. Right, okay. Right, tell you what, the light is coming back. And you can choose different... You can choose different religions or something, or subsets of that. It seems, I bet it's quite well made inside, because the religious stuff usually is, because they like to ensure that the next generation are subservient. But the thing is, the younger generation Muslims in the UK, because this is square pin, do they? Arabic is the primary language, is it not? It's of these. Do they have to learn Arabic chants? Do they even know what they mean? But let me get the manual for this and read some things off it. It's got English here. If it's got the surah, it then lists 66 chants. Ragya, it lists 41 chants. Zikr, it lists the 99 names of Allah is the first one. Why not just one? And then 11, basically it gives 11 chants or whatever. And then dua, and it's before sleeping, when waking up, before entering the toilet, after leaving the toilet. Do you have to chant before you go to the toilet? When starting ablution, so you chant before you go to the toilet, and then you have to chant as you shit? When upon completing ablution, what if another bit squeezes out afterwards? Do you have to chant again? That just... Sitting while prostrations. What even is that? Before the meal, after the meal, when wearing a garment, when entering the market, when worry and firmness, when one who suffers a calamity, when worshipping the sick, the funeral service, visiting graves, when the wind blows, do you have to do it? Oh, and hearing thunder. Wow, that is ridiculous. That makes Christianity look almost dignified because, I mean, the worst you're going to do is shout, "Oh God," when you hear a bolt of lightning. I'm not really sure. I'll probably cause religious offence by taking this apart. I'll try and do it tastefully. But, yeah, extremists. But there we go. Let's turn to something nicer now I've looked at that. You're getting fat mad. Well, I made a video about the chocolate Muslim Advent calendar, the Ramadan Advent calendar. I've never had so many unsubscribers on a video because people went, "Oh wow, it's Muslim, it's a raghead." Ragheads? Do they mean turbans? They're not Muslim. It's very odd. The turbans are associated with the Sikhs, who are not usually violent at all. Anyway, strange. But anyway, it'll be interesting to take it apart. It does contain 5G death beam arrays, Callum Rowley. It may contain a high voltage capacitor, but I'm going to guess capacitive dropper. But no, maybe not actually. I think it might be a buck regulator, just looking at the power consumption. Ablution is not shitting, it's the ritual wash before prayer. Right. So, why did my dad say that going to the toilet was going to the ablutions? Was that just a religious joke? Okay. Right, I don't know much about religion. Speaking of peekaboo, what was that AliExpress device? Megavolt Meister, you know fine well what the peekaboo device was. The rectal dilatory device that let you look up someone's rectum for some inexplicable reason. Just in case, what's up there? Poo. Hopefully not blood. Sikhs are cool unless you're a British invader. Yes, I'm sure they'll defend themselves. Also, the Sikhs have the best beards, to be honest. I do have something for taking a close look at things, though. Let me grab that. This is absolutely ruining the video I made last night, and I screwed the video up big time. When I'm recording a video, I'll start and stop recording just by pausing the recording if I'm doing something. Say, for instance, it was an unbagging video and I was struggling to plug some little tiny plugs in, so I paused. And at some point I managed to get the pause out of sync, and I recorded all the stuff I shouldn't have been recording and paused while I was supposed to be recording the bit. So the unbagging turned out into a pre-unbagged video. But anyway, one of the items is this. Look at I've left fingerprints on it already. It's got a camera. It's got... white lights, cold white, warm white, and ultraviolet. Oh, sterilization. And the thing about this is, let me actually go and grab that Muslim manual again. Gets a good option here. And if I hold it up to it, that's the amount of detail. You don't have much choice over the zoom, but you can see that it's really zooming in on that quite thing. It would be nice if it was autofocus. It would be nice if I could move it further away, but it's literally, that's it. Fixed focus, fixed zoom. And you do have options on the zoom, but that's strictly digital zoom. So it'll be interesting. I don't know how good it's going to be, how useful it'll be. It'd be nice if there'd be a little knob to adjust that. Then again, I've not read the manual, and you can push the button and take a picture, but I don't know how much memory's in it because there's no memory slot. Worked at Temple in Edinburgh a few times. As an apprentice, some of the nicest people you could ever meet. That would be the Sikh temple, indeed. Yeah. And even like the Muslims get a bad rap, but they look after their own. They will provide food to other Muslims who are down in hard times. Christianity is very different to that. How does it get the close focal distance and wide angle? It's just a fixed, tiny little camera, just fixed to that distance. That would be very useful in the pre-press era of a print shop. It would, Kusama Mart. It's pretty good. Why it uses PS Vita sounds, it's just, when you look at the menu, it looks suspiciously like the dashcam menu because they just use generic software for all these cameras. So do Freemasons. Oh, right, okay. Bit controversial. Not sure. Freemason in the UK is very different to other countries because the Freemason in the UK is all about business fraud, corruption. And a different, I suppose really you could put a different lens in it. I'm not sure how easy it is to change that. Horovac, they will provide food to everybody, their own first, but they won't discriminate, the normal ones. That's good. Christians be like, what's in it for me? No, Freemasons in the UK are very much a charitable body. Not in my experience at all. Not at all. Depends if you're one or not. Digital magnifier handheld. But anyway, let's look at talking of thieving bastards and Lego. I got some things off Lego, and the street lighting enthusiasts will love these. So what you get as part of this kit is you get a little electrical panel, and on the back it says Kimathon. That sticker can come off, but this is equivalent to a little street lighting electrical panel in your street, effectively. I've just tangled this wire. The wire is very thin. These connectors, the little plugs are very hard to get in until you realise the way they go in. And they are IDC. The wires are punched into them. And then instead of having pins, it's just little sliding contacts at the side. But it's got these tiny little connectors and resistors, but there's also resistors on the LEDs themselves. But if I plug this into USB, we can start with this. It's a little low-pressure sodium post-top lamp in yellow for the street lighting enthusiasts. So it's an illuminated bollard with these wires. Tuck it in here and going up the inside. Very thin, it's very hard to see them. I'll tilt it so you can see. But it is a hollow pillar, but it's using standard components here. Interesting. And if you pull the top off, it's just a little tiny round circuit board in there. It's just never going to focus on this. With a resistor and the LED. Very fumbly. I'll put that back on there. So the next exhibit here is the post top light. It's like a little light like that you can put on a fence and have little lights along it. And the next exhibit is, remember the street lights I looked at, the Lego-ish, not actual Lego street lights. And I said you could maybe drill a hole up the middle, but this version has a big enough hole up the middle that it's pre-molded in, so they can actually feed a wire up, and that's a 3mm LED at the top. Let me pop the top off it. A little side-emitting 3mm LED. It's quite neat. Warm white for this one, to emulate high-pressure sodium, perhaps. Or metal halide, the warm colour temperature metal halide, or indeed a modern LED fixture. But neat, very neat. Oh, and this little hole at the top, so you could actually have other stuff up there as well. It's all using fairly standardish components, though. You get these as kits. And I was thinking, each one is about 10 milliamps. It runs off USB. You could make a little street scene in your bedroom that just acted as a nightlight as well. It's so low power you could just leave it on all the time. It's negligible. It's literally buttons, 5 volts, 10 milliamps, 50 milliwatts per light. Nothing. The thickness of the post is not necessarily to scale. It's not bad. It's not bad. You do get pretty thick lampposts. But having said that, for the function of it, it's all right. Great Lego LED source. Brick bling toy. Well, these ones came from AliExpress. Depends how expensive it is. But I did notice I got some other things as well. Let me go and grab it. I'll just take these out of the way. The cylindrical bricks are also hollow. Let me just pop one off. Hollow. Which means you can actually, in the colours, you could actually make your own little bare lamppost and just put an LED, a 3mm or 5mm side emitting LED at the top of that if you wanted something particularly gay. Hold on. I'm already a fan of the tiny drawer, says Raisin Bread. This was in my feed and I opened that. What was happening here? Technical stuff is happening here. Do you know the drawers also contain, I'm just going to have one, liquor. Actual alcoholic beverage. Not just for components, also for 3D printed beverage dispensers. I do have another thing. Beer stuff is happening. It is happening, yes. I do have another thing. You may have noticed that in some of the recent unbaggings from AliExpress, as well as the electronic components and stuff, I got some plastic foliage. And you're thinking, why is he buying plastic foliage? Well, a while ago, I was doobieing light bulbs. I was modifying LED light bulbs. And this is the most recent version of that. This is the foliage one, where, do you want to see it lit up? It's plastic foliage, but you can choose the base size in the parametric script. You can choose the outer diameter in the parametric script. It will put in 6 recesses for foliage. You can choose the diameter, you can choose the depth, and it'll also taper them in so everything goes in nicely. But you have to doobie the light. You have to lower its power rating. Otherwise, these ones get smoking hot, and it is PLA. Of course you do, yes. No, I'm not going to stick it on my arse. No. The place is so full of stuff. Besides, you don't put bayonet cap up your arse. That's Edison's screw for the Americans. Because you can screw them into your rectum, probably. Here we go. I shall turn the light off. Foliage. Illuminated foliage. It does quite a good job of spreading light around the room, and also it is foliage. Look at it trying to white balance and that. It's struggling. But there we have it. It means that your lights cannot just be a source of light, but can also be decorative as well. There we go. Watch your eyes. The light is coming back in general lightness. It's hopeless. What? Just how big is that back room? That room there, it's big-ish. Not as big as this room here, but still nowhere near remotely as big as any room, including the lounge, not the lounge, the hallway of the flat in Glasgow, which is just ridiculous. I'll just unplug this. Oh, the pink lamp holder has been reincarnated, by the way. I got the insert for it and reassembled it with its original pink flex and the original pink cover. It's back in action, so we can screw the Edison screw lamps in again. He said, holding up a bayonet cat one, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not showing you everything I unbagged last night. You can see that in due course. Clive's TARDIS. It's not so much a TARDIS, it's just stuffed with junk. Are all the rooms in your house workshops? Yes, the one room that has escaped mostly, I mean, there's a drawer full of circuit boards in it, is the bedroom, but every other room is even the kitchen has technical stuff in it. It's got all the chemical experiments. The house is a workshop. Unbagged all over the place. I unbag, I remove all the boxes, I then put things into Tupperware type containers and stack them ready for the videos in the future. Mountains of tat like mine, DC Allen. Surround yourself with tat. You're not showing the giant dildos you ordered, we know. I did actually order some giant dildos, an electric shock dildo from AliExpress, but it's not arrived yet, and I'm cautious because although I want to make a video about it, I want to take it apart. YouTube does not like those videos at all. I don't know what to do. Wheezy peasy, I love my weird house full of awesomeness. Indeed. My place is a true TARDIS. Indeed. Your house should be full of stuff. All the technical people. Tony Weavers, my daughter says I've bastardized every room in my house. My dad said, this was a lovely flat and now you've ruined it. Of my flat in Glasgow, because I had pinball machines in the rooms and stuff like that, and it wasn't how it should look because it's not normal. Oh, well, he's dead now. So judgmental. Are you kidding? I've seen bottomless house cleaning with full genitalia on YouTube. Really? No. I can't do that on a channel with 2,700 technical videos that could be deleted instantly when some bitch shits on me. Call it a massage device. Well, it'll definitely massage. It was also quite funny reading the descriptions because it specifically says it's 3 inches in diameter. And it said, this is not for beginners. Is this just marketing speak? And then I looked at the reviews and thought, this thing could be quite big. Also, people said, it was great. It gave me electric shocks at the beginning, but then it stopped. But then it worked again later. I wonder if they were using the correct lube for it, if they were doing that, because it'd have to be water-based, like medical style. Kebab Face, is it one of them dildos where we can remotely activate it and live stream via tokens? Do people do that? Electrified butt plugs. Interesting. Live stream the strip down of the dildo on Twitch. I could do that, Flemgob, because if the Twitch account gets deleted, it gets deleted. It's basically, it was to protect the YouTube account. Piano Man Rob, I am surrounded by junk. Joyous, wonderful junk. Sometimes it does get a bit frustrating, but you know what? You know it's there for you when you need it. Oh, people do use the teledildonic part streaming. Do they really, Wheezy Peasy? Not come across that. Maybe the wrong type of streams, but I suppose that it's going to be, you're going to see the person streaming going, oh, like when they activate it. Lovely. then you guys are so mean that it would just be, by the end of the stream, I'd have basically white finger syndrome of the rectum due to excessive vibration. Clive, pop quiz, what's your favourite 3D print of all time? A cute bunny. I don't know. The Whiffler was quite fun, but I've printed lots of random things. The crystals, the big diamonds that illuminated, the ones like that floral display, but without the foliage, were just big, huge plastic diamonds, were quite nice as well. I haven't heard of teledildonic since. Is teledildonic a thing? Jaeger, Jack Attacks. Oh, right, okay. To overzealous and adventurous sex toys. Apparently China has seen a boom in the sale of sex toys. And in the UK, the sex toy retailers were saying that the sale of sex toys to men is outstripping women big time. It's like suddenly men have decided, screw this, I'm going to have sexy fun. Zap Sparky, to sex toys. Lots of people use them. I've never seen Two Girls, One Cup. I've seen cake farts. Don't look that up. You're going to look it up now. Vince, the crew chief, has banned cake farts on the job. Lots of leftover women in China. Indeed, China North Air Gunspool. They can also buy sex toys. It's just so much. These days, just stay single and pleasure yourself with porn. That's my recommendation. Cake farts, yes. The desafinado. It's basically a lady that there's a square chocolate cake on a table, and she says, I'm going to make myself nice and comfortable. This one, she lets her hair down, pulls down her pants, and sits on the cake and farts. That's fundamentally it, but the sounds are hilarious. Particularly because after a good round of farting, she just completely runs out of fart and she's squeezing a bit too hard, and you're just, at the point that there's going to be more chocolate in the cake, that's when the video ends. Rudy B, I did some electrical work in a sex shop years ago. The dildo showers are interesting, to say the least. I do have to say, you look online and the people, Bad Dragon, for instance, do people actually get those in? Teledildonics are those used by such as Chatterbait. How do you... Oh, I don't know. That isn't a natural fart. Well, dunno. That's called felching. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Guys, I'm very naive. I'm young and innocent. You guys know much more about sex than me because, keep in mind, I'm an innocent virgin. Bad Dragon makes all kinds of size from 1 inch to 1 foot. You can get any texture, hardness, size. They are smart as factory. Bad Dragon gave me a gift. One of the first meetups, the guy who owns Bad Dragon turned up. Do you want to see the gift he gave me? I'll go and get it. He gave me a Bad Dragon brick, and I didn't know who Bad Dragon were, but I didn't know what they did until he started alluding that he made sex toys. But I didn't twig that this is actually a sex toy. Apparently, people put them in, and I was looking at it and saying, I can't see the seam in this, because working with people who make props, I was saying this is really, it's silicone. And it's molded really well. Lots of detail, no bubbles, no seams that I can see in this. It's really well molded. And I never twigged. I just thought this was a demo of just how good they are at molding. I got one, and the grey one went to a friend who was also at the thing, because the guy who brought them he said, whatever happens, take one, because I don't want to take them back in the luggage, because they had quite a bit of weight. But there we go. It's a brick. How many can you get in if you're a builder? Lovely. And then naively, not realizing it quite yet, I used it as a plateau to film things on. I've just got this terrible reputation of doing terrible things without knowing it because I'm very naive. Wait, I know a very angry bricklayer. Yes. We can fix it. Yes, you might not be able to fix your rectum once you've shoved this up. I like the tiny samples you got too. I did get the tiny little, a bag, literally a bag of dicks. That's the point I realised. But there we go. But it's very hefty. I'm going to weigh this. Hold on, just give me a second. £965, just over £2. £2 of premium silicon for your pleasure. Well, there you go. Very interesting. Question, if you're gay, does it automatically mean you like it at the backside? No, Flemgob, it doesn't. You can be gay and never have sex in your life. Next, tell us about pole dancing. Pole dancing in Ireland, yes. All these stories, but they get repeated too often. But that was the first time I got drunk, yes. In a gay bar in Ireland, a huge gay bar called the Kremlin, pole dancing. Unexpected night, yes. Who'd get excited by a brick, Megavolt Meister? People with hungry butts. People, the furries in particular with Bad Dragon, the rich programmers who, well, they're single or they've got a technical partner and they've got double income and they've got really incredibly technical jobs, quite often in software and engineering. So they've got lots of money. Stay single. Yes, it's great. But anyway, the Batman is still there. Batman will get that at some point. Let's see, is there MD even watching now? Because it's all gone a bit wild. Where does it tell me? 572 people, 572 perverts, quite frankly, if you ask me. Anyway, it's time to fill up the pink unicorn with more. Maybe this is a gay channel, I don't really know. I don't think it is. Carbonated power juice with caffeine. Let me just mop all this liquid I've just splashed all over the laptop keyboard. It's okay, it's a Chromebook, which makes it less critical because everything's backed up online. It means if you have a huge, terrible, apocalyptic incident, you can buy a new Chromebook or dig out an old backup one, log in and all your stuff's still there. Pretty good. Okay, you do have to sell your soul to Google. How dare you? I stopped being a pervert 4 hours ago. Well, you're just going to have to be a pervert again, kebab face. The statistics don't bode well for us. Aside from the fact that the very high percentage of autistic people in the technical community, the high suicide rate is not great. And I can understand why this happens, because you can get wrapped up, you can get spiral into worrying about things that were, if you look back, they weren't worth worrying about. If you get trapped in that it just preys on your mind and you're worrying about something and it just gets worse and worse and worse and you're agitated and all dark, just stop and think, do I have any real control over that? Or is it actually an issue in the first place? And you'll find, no, it isn't. And you'll suddenly feel really good again. Just keep that in mind. But anyway, the other thing is that the autistic people have non-standard gender and sexuality. It's just this standard thing. It's like Mother Nature says your job is not to breed. You're going to do technical shit. You're going to fix stuff. You're going to build stuff. And she just turns your ability to breed off and it just goes in a random direction instead. That's just what happens. A cup of tea will help. You mean neurodiversity? Yes. Did we find out how that guy whose wife had died topped himself? Was it helium? Who knows, Flemgob? Let's not even talk about that. Was that the other YouTuber? Jellyfish are sad because there are no peanut butter fish. I see. Adorable gay bears unite. Indeed, Kusabra. Particularly the rugged blue-collar, broad-shouldered ones from the steelworks. Well, you can fucking well say that. I have non-standard sexuality in that I have none, Horovac. Horovac, Horovac, Horovac. Everybody masturbates. You masturbate. What is the image in your mind when you masturbate? That's your sexuality. There you go. I hope that helped. You may drink more wine and ponder that next time you have a wank. Just about this isn't actually on YouTube. Is this alcohol power? I think this would even happen without alcohol. I tell young people to stop worrying. Indeed. The thing is, the people who make you worry are the useless people in society. All the officials. How annoying. The Labour government are investigating ADHD. I think they're going to ban it. Do you know what the annoying thing about it? Is that, I feel touched now, working on the railway. Yeah, you are. I have no images, Horovac. You're in denial, Horovac. You're going to have to come to grips with it. Nothing does beat a wank, Stinky Mole, that's true. Anyway, what is the next subject we have to go on to? I'm going to have to go and dig out electrical tat. Right, let me go and grab something. Remember I got a string of LED lights and it had a USB connector and I was like, darn, I didn't want the USB connector. I wanted the little power supplies. I ordered another one. The bigger sets have this power supply. I'm going to open this and see what's inside because it does seem a lot smaller than the Jutai ones. But we'll see the quality is good because the Jutai ones I took apart, the ones that are sold in the UK, this is a European plug, but the ones that are sold in the UK have really good separation inside because they're designed for little kiddies to licking the fairy lights and shit like that. Not like the cheap crap we buy from AliExpress, which will kill the wee babies that stick them in their mouth. What do we predict as the electronics fad for 2026, Demonics? Oh, that's tricky. You know, it's evolving so quickly it's hard to say. Cronus, finally get to catch you live. Good time to arrive. You just missed the really excessively spicy sexual bit. Or maybe it was a bad time to arrive. Sorry, it's not men. I'm rather repelled. They are uncouth. You can't have been in a locker room with other young boys and be gay. Yuck. What? It's still sexual, apparently. Horovag. For me, when I was young, it was the male image, but not sexual in any way whatsoever. Fully clothed. Just the image. Quantum computing, no, Flemgob. Quantum computing is just I don't see them. So, a quick summary of quantum computing: it's analog computers. They used to be used in the past because they could compute in real time using analog voltages, but they were set up for a specific analog task. The point of the qubits in a quantum computer is that instead of just working with ones and zeros, it works with analog values. But they have a problem with the analog values being leaky, but it's early days. It's like the robots these days, they can literally walk and that's it. But they'll grow. They'll grow fast. I can't believe when you're streaming Pinball Tech Stream. Oh, don't know about that. The images in the head don't work anymore. I guess been burnt out by porn. Horovac, try AI image generation. But anyway, the world is digital, pretends to be analog. Amazing that. It's all gone very weird. Any word about that guy now, that man that had the video post him? He's fine. Megavolt Maestro's fine. He's back at work. Everything is back to normal. It's fine. He did try and take his own life. Fortunately, there was intervention. He got taken into mental care for a while, resolved things, and he's back, and everything's fine. All these people saying, "Oh, that's disgusting." In reality, maybe they need to look at their own life. Everybody's got kinks. Some are weird. That's fine. Have you done a full stripped-down inspection of the USB-C IKEA PSUs, Steve or PCB? Not yet. Not the USB-C ones. I'm almost dreading it because the previous ones have been quite complex. They took quite a lot to do. Cyberlight, there will be a Christmas stream with Ralph if everything goes to plan. He does have fibre optics, so that should happen. The time machine, not sure. AI shouldn't scare the shit out of you. AI is a tool. Don't look at all the controversial videos where AI is saying, "I'm going to kill all the humans." AI is interesting, but used properly. It's going to need physical people. I'm always reminded of Clive seeing high-vis lads up the TV transmitter. They're up there every day lately. Why was it disgusting? There was poop involved, but some people are into poop. Everybody poops. Personally, I'm not so into poop, but that's okay. Anyways, gossip on your street lighting operative on the island. He had I don't know if it was him or other people, but he sent a team over to do their Christmas lights. I don't care anymore. It's not great, not to worry. That's the way society's going, de-skilling. Fake qualifications. AI is interesting. I don't know if you've seen the videos by Kelly something, the AI artist who's been making music videos. She's been using Suno AI to create music tracks. She's been using Midjourney to create really complex images. Her prompts must involve a lot of work because they're so complex. And then she uses VO3 to animate them into video. They're superb. They are really good. Nothing like anything else. They are very, very good. Is scat porn illegal? I don't know. It's all over the internet if you know where to look, probably. Did you put lights in your house? Not a lot, Jonathan Hughes. I did change the long-term test festoon I've had along the front of the house, the side of the house even. It's not really got a front. I did change it to little coloured LED filaments to give the illusion of Christmas. And I've got some mains voltage red LED rope light around an arch at the front of the house filled with mains voltage municipal grade colour changing LEDs just to put on the image of Christmassiness. But I'm not big into actual Christmas. Random Jaeger, Jack Attack. We could to have a random Jaeger. To human diversity and all the weirdness that goes along with that. Some of it's unsavoury, but a lot of it's harmless. That's fine. To humans. For being weird. And to be honest, I want my AI to be just a bit wild. I want it to have an opinion. I don't use AI much, but occasionally I do. And you know the Google search results? You have to vet them. You have to understand what you're looking at, but it's not bad. What I don't get now is they're offering AI-generated prompt guidance to create proper prompts for you for AI. That's pointless. That's just taking imagination out of everything. I didn't unbag everything because a lot of stuff came through at once. That's been happening recently. Big, huge delays and then a huge clump of stuff. So one of the things, one of the best basketball player asked me to bring him something into the locker room after a match once, and it was fucking Val the stench hitting in the face of Mac. No animal stinks so bad. Or a vac. Was that Sir Strumming or what's the fruit? Durian fruit? AI search suggest has killed it for me. AI refused to draw an Amish man in his underpants. I had to change the prompts. It won't let you. You have to work your way around things. Not that I want to see people in underpants. Swimming shorts may have worked. Prove you're not AI. Tricky. I mean, I could be AI. I mean, there's enough of my video content online that people could create a convincing BigClive.com voice and an image. But the thing is, this could all be chroma key until I actually open a drawer. But these days, that doesn't count, because if you've seen VO3, what it's doing these days, and Sora AI, even this could be fake. It's very hard to tell these days. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's fake. There's an AI Sandra on Twitch. It's fun to try to get them to say nasty stuff. This is all people do. They want to make it rude. They want to do racist things like that. I bet there is a channel at some point that does BigClive.com style teardowns, but it's all fake, and it's opening things and showing random circuitry that doesn't make sense and random stuff inside the boxes, circuit boards based on generic circuit boards. Will people know it's fake? I don't know. The end of your video, today's lip sync looked like AI. Oh, was the lip sync out? Phlegm gob. That can happen with the processing. When the lip sync is important. I don't normally show my face, so I don't normally see any lip sync issues, but it only takes a fraction of a second of lip sync out and it does look fake. That was the hat demonstration. Do robots dream of electric sheep, Grelko? Seriously. I think Grelko make me think of theatre adapters. I honestly think that the replicants, you know how Electric Sheep, the John B. Dickenough or whatever his name was. I can't remember. That's John B. Goodenough. Philip Dick or something. I can't remember. Anyway, the guy who did Blade Runner, the thing Blade Runner was based on, the replicants, I think, are a very good demonstration of autistic, technical people who are in amongst society, but our job is purely to work in society. That's how we get our pleasure. I enjoy work. That's more important to me than going on a holiday somewhere. I literally enjoy. It gives me great joy taking stuff apart. A video I've not released even on Patreon yet, I've just made. I was drying my beard. In the morning I wash my face and the beard gets wet in the process. So I washed the beard as well. I was using the hairdryer. It suddenly went down to half speed and got very, very hot and glowy inside. I took it apart. It was a diode. Spoilers. That had failed. Interesting circuitry, but I really enjoyed just taking it apart. I don't need any incentive to take things apart. That's how I get my pleasure. Oh, I wouldn't ask ChatGPT to create a circuit diagram or show how to wire something, but people are doing it. Horvath, you should do a longer video detailing reverse engineering a circuit, not doing it off screen. I tried to duplicate that recently. It's fucking useless. It's evolved. If you look at my earlier videos, I didn't reverse engineer. Then I start reverse engineering basically, and then it gets up to today. You might not realize how much work is involved in reverse engineering. It can take hours in some circuits, particularly if they're using non-standard circuitry. But see how I colour them in? That was a big breakthrough for me. Colouring them so I could see where the power rails at the very least were and subsections of circuitry. That's very useful. Relco, I am indeed a 15 amp round pin socket multiplier. That's excellent. We used to use so many of them. I had to take my blow dryer apart to lubricate bearings. It was a bloody nightmare of layers of tightly clipped plastic, Steve Waddlers. The hairdryer, now I know how it went together. It doesn't. They must put the heating element on last. Spoilers, there were 3 sections of heating element. And a diode that was in Sears the whole hairdryer for the lower power setting. But it was an air-cooled diode. And one of the heating elements, there were 2 with the same resistance, but one was really fine wire. But the heating element, the motor is run via a heating element. I thought it was a voltage divider, but it's actually just purely a resistor in series of the motor in the form of the heating element, bridge rectifier, well-rated noise suppression capacitor, and then a beefy little 12-volt motor, maybe even higher than 12 volts. But very simple circuitry, but not accessible. Apart from the nichrome wire and the motor being tapped off the 2 diodes, there's 4 diodes. There's not much circuitry inside a hairdryer. Full bridge in the case of mine across the motor. They're very basic, but they add all those functions in by switching everything in banks. Oh no, just asked Deep AI org for an image of Big Clive. What did it show you, mouse? Was it flattering or was it bad? It wasn't based on my OnlyFans, was it? You can't lubricate ball bearings now, you need to replace it Cyberlight. That's more or less it. Because it's cheaper for them, isn't it? I've not written software, assembly code in a while, but I've been mulling some over in my mind for the ultrasonic atomizers. ChatGPT has only killed 3 people. That's better than the government then. Has it killed people? That's great. I'm going to have to ask that afterwards. Full bridge rectifier. Do you know what? That made me think actually not of electric boom, but diode gone wild. When I'm researching stuff, diode gone wild pops up quite a lot. He's got a very comprehensive website full of stuff. Very interesting. Mouse tree putter still not activated. Oh. Thank you, Vabtrudner, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Ham Radio Girl. I was talking about the ham radio enthusiast recently because, well, let me go and grab it. Spoilers, it's an LED light bulb, but it's odd because it's the highest voltage 2835 LEDs I've come across. Each one is 3 blocks of 6 chips, 18 volts, and that means that each of those LEDs in there is a 50-volt LED. What was the subject there? I've forgotten. Blue LED, I chose blue LED because there's no phosphor over it. I wanted to see what was inside. What was the subject? Dad Gone Wild is great. His accent is so strong. Doing any bungalow sessions this week? Bungalow sessions? Oh, talking of which, there's Mouse. I really should put on my Mouse badge because Mouse is still making these. I'll put on my Mouse pewter. Big neodymium magnet up the back. Oh, is it going to stick? Might not stick. It's not going to stick. Hold on. I'll use one of these fuel saver magnets. That's better. Little computer. I should have done that right at the beginning, shouldn't I? You guys are going to have to remind me. Mouse, you can post links to this Mouse. Mouse makes these little tiny badge supercomputers that are a mini version of this, but wearable. He's got a pick and place machine. Dad Gone Wild is awesome as well as irksome. Are you talking about his accent being irksome? His exploitation of a kitty. So why did I did earlier, you prick. Oh, sorry. I have from the start. Okay, I just pick out comments. I can't read every comment. Almost forgot, still time for Christmas delivery. The postal service is pandemonium, but even if you order it now and it arrives after Christmas, it's fine. This is an all year round thing. He also does the Christmas badge, the tree ones, but to be honest, I quite like the rectangular one. Nice and simple. I wish Mouse would make bigger rectangular ones. Just one LED in each direction, just a little tiny, scale it up a little bit. But that's okay. Oh, Ham Girl. Yes, okay, it was the Ham Girl. This is based on a linear regulator. Do you remember the first LED bulbs that had the buck regulators in them with the little high frequency coils that created loads of RF noise? These ones don't create much RF noise at all because it is a linear regulator. It's acting like a dynamic resistor, so they're virtually radio silent, which is very good for the radio hams. Because somewhere I've absolutely I think the more you listen, it's going to be easier. I originally thought it was Indian. Mouse ships from the UK, which is a big problem with America at the moment, thanks to that guy. What's the time, says Liz? It's time for fire, Liz. So, amongst the other things I've got to take a look at, because it was a monster unbagging, the monster bag arrived, so I've split it into 2 videos. One of them is a roll of LEDs called Mars Green. What's Mars Green? I don't know what they mean by Mars Green, but we'll find out. Mars Green? Mars is red. What the fuck? Anyway, it's Mars Green. It's Martian Green. Oh, maybe it's Martian Green. I don't know what colour that's going to be. It's going to be a shade of green, presumably. Are you ready for a huge fireball? Whiffle. Oh, Jesus. Maybe a bit too big. Is that possible? Whiffling. Oh, wow, that was a good one. Yeah. And that was the point. The entire house just burst into flames. That's going to happen. It is flame treated. It has flame retarding components applied. Ack, indeed. Mega house insurance voided, and it probably is because the place is just a huge dump for technical stuff. Is that the 100mm one? Yes, that's the 100mm whiffler. Use carefully. Mars Green is a shade of green that in 2017 was named the world's favourite colour. Really? The fire station is just down the road, but it is manned by volunteers. Not sure if how long it would take, but I do have contingency plans and fire extinguishers. I can whiffle as much as I want, I just got new fire extinguishers. And lumberjack hunks. What? Love the XL whiffler. It is rather monstrous. How many square feet is your pad? It's not massive. It's a bit annoying. It's not big enough. I need a warehouse. Deeply regretting not buying that industrial warehouse because, to be honest, I'd have got over it by now and I'd have filled the place. Annoying. I need some more space. Depends the farming like you. I don't think I've alienated the farming. Have you considered the presence of ethanol as in fire retardants? No. My nosebleed stopped, so looks like I will live sadly, Phlegm Gob. Did you have a nosebleed? Did you stuff kitchen towel up your nose? You'd think working in a school with a bunch of teachers who teach various coding I'd know more, but I have no real interest to learn. Sometimes it takes a project to make you get into coding. Build a shed. I need a shed. I need to clear the entire back. The garden's quite big here. It's overgrown. It's full of wildlife. All you hear when you walk out is bird song. My garden is a haven for birds. Shipping container's a good shed. Love a shipping container, but getting it here is the tricky bit because there's no easy way to crane it in. But if you filled a warehouse, wouldn't find anything. It'd be more organised. I know where everything is. The $300 Temu tarp shed I bought would work on IOM has seen 90-kilometre winds and 30-centimetre snow for 10 by 20 feet. That China North air guns. I'd rather have something more robust than tarp. There's Scruff Dog gearing up, getting past all the adverts. We'll transfer over to Scruff Dog in a couple of minutes. If you hate difficult to understand accents, don't watch a My Sylvain video. What do you possibly store? Electrical junk, technical stuff that I just harvest over time. Pinball machines, fruit machines, video games, control computers, display panels, just stuff that interests me. Let's say that blue whales are quite robust. Not sure we got any in the Isle of Man. Build a real shed. It needs to be a real shed. A wooden one. Just wrap 'em some presents, Grant Rennie says. Aha. Jaeger? There's no Jaeger left. I think I've used all the Jaegers. The Jaeger minions are all gone. They were actually Kahlua anyway. I've got a bottle of Tia Maria. I think I need to carbonate it. Don't watch what? What? Pinball. Do you put stuff in completely logical place because that's where you first threw them? Yes, but I find them, Phlegm Gob. I think, oh, I need that, and then I just go and find it straight away. It's just, for some reason, I remember where it is. Mike and Co, greetings. Evening Boss, loving the AliExpress vids. I probably spend about 30 quid a month on random crap too. Oh no, am I helping you, encouraging to spend stuff? Mike and Co, the stream is actually just about to end in about a minute, just so you know this, just so to avoid disappointment. But you can review it. It went very perverted. There was lots of dildos and things in it. As sometimes happens, there was also lots of interesting LED Lego lighting and stuff like that. Interesting stuff. And Muslim prayer machines, chant machines. Dunno. Watching a guy make a Schlerin camera setup and then put a traducer in front of it so you can see sound. Those sound cameras, the ones that let you see audio sources, are very interesting, quite complex. Lots of brick-shaped dildos. There were lots of brick-shaped dildos, yes. Muslim bum sex. I'm sure it happens, but we don't talk about that. They don't talk about it. Can you end the stream halfway through a sentence, please? I'll do my best, but that doesn't... I can't do the awkward moment thing anymore because Twitch ends in a much more controlled manner than YouTube. Liquor Biero. I don't even know what that is. Liquor Biero. Didn't Bad Dragon also make a Minecraft? I'm sure they probably have done Minecraft-themed stuff. They do everything. Look at the website, Bad Dragon. Just type Bad Dragon in Google and you'll find it. It's for those who... I mean, it's cheaper than a wife, to be honest, in the long run, ultimately. But there we go. That's my advice, yes. Anyway, it is time to hand over to Scruff Dog now. So let's do a raid. /raid Scruff Dog Live. Scruff Dog Live. That looks about right. Let's get ready to raid Scruff Dog. Don't Google Bad Dragon. You should Google Bad Dragon. It's things, yes. So we're raiding Scruff Dog in 3, 2, 1, 0. And if you've not raided Scruff Dog, you're still here. Have a good week. Buy some tat off AliExpress for fun. Just for the joy of it arriving like Santa's gifts. And have a good week. Don't let things get in your mind too much. Don't worry about anything because it's not worth worrying about anything. And have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Catch you then.